So Mike Keller is back.
It is I, and I am back.
And while you were doing the things that you were doing when we were separated, I had an amazing discussion with two very special guests.
Did you go to their restaurant?
Yes, I did. So I talked.
Did you get to eat yummy foods?
They made me a Mediterranean bowl, which was freaking awesome. Have you been there?
No, I hate that. Like when I'm out of town, you do the best things.
You can go there by yourself.
Yeah, I should go there.
Anyway, we're talking about Hey Sunshine Kitchen, and I spoke with Heather Golden Ray and Jenny Engel, and they're the two sisters. They're vegan icons. They've written 2 cookbooks on vegan food. They give amazing, life-changing vegan cooking classes. And Hey Sunshine Kitchen just celebrated its first year anniversary. And it's amazing food. They're into the environment. They have this thing called Pollinator Mondays. So every time you go there for a meal on Mondays, you get a free pollinator plant.
Oh, what's a pollinator plant?
A pollinator plant.
Something that attracts bees?
Yeah, and these are indigenous to California. The best deal.
What does it look
LA.
like? It's like a flower?
It changes. Sometimes it's a flower. Sometimes it's like sagebrush. Sometimes
it's really
different.
Cool.
I got when I was there. It was called jelly bean monkey flower.
Interesting.
Prepare yourselves for an amazing interview right now. Heather Golden Rain, Jenny Engel of Hey Sunshine Kitchen. They're accomplished cookbook authors. They've been teaching vegan cooking classes for 15 years. And Hey Sunshine Kitchen has just got its first year anniversary. It's celebrated a birthday. What is your feeling when you had that year anniversary? Was it like a relief, more challenges? What was your experience like?
Yeah, good question. Actually, I was feeling like very excited because I was able to be in the moment on our anniversary day and really just enjoy. And people kept saying happy anniversary or happy birthday, and it took me a second to register like, oh yeah, this is a year in. So I think it's a mix of excitement for what's to come and also a little bit of a sense of accomplishment having that year under our belt, which it's felt so new for so long. I feel like it felt new for the first 11 months, and then the last month rolled around, then we hit a year, and it felt great.
Yeah, and for me, I couldn't sleep for 2 nights before the event because I was so excited that it was happening. We had 260 RSVPs, and all of them were bringing other guests. We had no idea what to expect, so we prepared. I mean, we worked hard that week. I'm not gonna lie, we didn't take a nap. And so we were so excited. And then when the day came and people were here flowing through and wishing us those cute blessings, we were very much living in the moment and just very much appreciating this community. The vegan community is very special and very supportive. And so we feel very lucky to be a part of it.
Well, I also feel, though, that your product and your experience that you offer is quite unique and so enjoyable that actually encourages people in the community to come out and enjoy the experience, because it's just a good vibes all the time.
Thank you.
We feel like it's really good vibes, but also I think the community wanted to be here because everyone was wearing their cute vegan t-shirts and their buttons and their hats, and it's just a place to gather.
Yeah.
You know? Outside of like the vegan festivals that happen when they happen, right? Mm-hmm. This is like another place for people to gather and be together and celebrate veganism, really.
Yeah, in a non-judgmental, way, of course, and appreciating all of our clients who are not vegan as well. So we just want to have something for everybody and let everybody have a good time.
Were you thinking about that when you chose this location in Culver City?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How so? Now, what does this location have to do with the community? Is it close to certain areas that are, I don't know, vegan pockets, or people live in a certain area that have that are more accustomed to eating plant-based foods?
Not particularly with the vegan aspect of it, but we wanted to be somewhere that was close to commercial and residential. So that was sort of like our special point, because we needed, as a restaurant, you need a lot of business to survive. And so we thought we had the best shot being, in a location like Culver City.
And there weren't a lot of specifically plant-based and vegan options in this particular region. So we also opened at a very interesting time where about 40% of the vegan businesses in LA were shuttering, their doors. So it was a very transitional time. So we had no idea how it was going to go. It was a gamble, the biggest gamble of our lives. But fortunately, thank goodness, we've been lucky to thrive here.
Actually, I always come to this area for Indian food.
Yeah.
So there's actually some great vegan Indian food in Culver City, and that's the what. But again, a place like yours that kind of has, I guess, a wide-reaching, kind of fresh alternative cuisine. How would you explain your menu? As I tried to explain your menu.
You're like, you do it.
Well, I mean, you've been living it, so
Yeah.
I'm sure you know.
My short answer is it's bowls, sandwiches, tacos, and salads, and it's all non-GMO, plant-based, and made with fresh from scratch ingredients. And I think the secret underlying component to that is that it's really California cuisine, if you think about it, because California cuisine is known as being very fresh and colorful, and we're kind of using that as a platform.
I think of like Wolfgang Puck.
Yeah, I like Wolfgang.
We're fourth generation Los Angelinos. So our grandparents grew up here in Silver Lake. They lived on Commonwealth, and we come from tailors and a furrier family. So maybe we're taking care of some of that karma. I don't know. LA is just like in our blood. And so this cuisine really is very reflective of who we are.
I think what really impressed me about the food that I've eaten here a bunch of times, and there's so much thought that goes into the menu. And why don't you explain, like, how did you plan the menu? Like, when you decided to make a restaurant, like, how much effort went into it? Probably a lot of testing.
Yes.
And and also finding the right ingredients that could be sustainable throughout, that could be sustainable throughout the year as well.
Yes, all of those things. You nailed it. It only took a few years, actually. So we were working on the menu for maybe 2 years before opening. And it was very intentional to cross any boundary, whether you're like dipping your toe into eating vegan for the first time and you're scared to try something that's like a little more out there, versus like someone who has been vegan like us for 25 years and you want to eat something that's like a clean patty that's your special signature. Like that's what we put our Mediterranean chickpea patty on the menu for. So it was a lot of R&D, many trials, and also a lot of research of products. Like if we are carrying a vegan chicken, it had to be non-GMO. It had to cross off all of our boxes that were gonna meet our standard of what we wanted. So we went through testing our recipes, but also testing products, just like, that would fit the bill that we wanted, like a burger or the chicken, just like maybe went through about 50 different kinds until we nailed what we love.
And what was interesting is it was during COVID.
Yes.
So we were, we sort of huddled together, our families became one, and we had someone with our children so we could be in the kitchen. And we were in the kitchen, I would say it was probably 3 years of, us being
Time
in the
flies.
kitchen. Yeah, we were having a good time together creating. So yeah, it was a tremendous amount of thought and work. I mean, any interesting project has a tremendous amount of thought and work that goes into it, right? I think.
Yeah, but also what's awesome when seeing how happy people are when they get to go to the restaurant. I mean, there's also work that doesn't pay off.
True.
I mean,
True.
I mean, as someone who creates stuff on, and online,
Yeah.
sometimes, I'll put a lot of effort into something that no one pays attention to, and then, and then you just have a little idea, and then, people get excited about it. I mean,
Right.
the other element is reception. So but obviously you already had kind of a place in the vegan community. So was that an easier transition for to be, I guess, Spork Foods, which was is your cooking class,
Yeah.
to Hey Sunshine Kitchen?
Yeah, we don't know any other way, but I think that it has been amazing to see people that we hadn't seen in a long time when we were doing our classes coming back and trying our food. It happens almost every day. We've had a few students in here, former cooking students of ours, come today actually. So every day we get to see faces that we hadn't seen in a long time. So I do think there's a tie-in with that community that's been really rewarding, to have a place where we could welcome them back into our lives, since we hadn't seen them in so long, because we did stop classes around COVID.
And that was a missing element for us. For us, we loved teaching. And a lot of that was like the human interaction, seeing someone and feeding them and teaching them and answering questions. It was like an exchange that we hadn't had all of COVID. So we were like planting these seeds. We didn't tell anyone we were opening a restaurant, because we don't like to talk about things. We just like to do them, right? And so finally, when we could open our doors, it was just this breath of fresh air, just finally seeing people again that we hadn't seen for so many years.
Okay, so was this building a restaurant? Was this the culmination of something? Was this or you could see this as just another project to build on other things? Was this something you were leading towards?
So
Yeah,
so we started taking cooking classes when we were 5 and 7 years old. We told our parents we're going to learn how to cook, and we would march down the street together. We grew up in the valley, and there was a little cooking school, so we started taking classes when we were really young. We always loved food. We always wanted to be around food. We were always in the kitchen with our mom, helping chop or cook or mostly taste. So we always just were so passionate about food. And then it wasn't till college that we were introduced to veganism. For me, it was a class called World Ecological Crisis. The class I took that completely opened my eyes to the devastation that the environment was going to face and was facing if we hadn't made that change. So originally, for both of us, it was environmental reasons that we went vegan, and then we learned obviously about the animal suffering and then the positive health benefits to it if done correctly, not eating Oreos 9 times a day. So that kind of is how that tied together.
Yeah, and then as far as a culmination with the restaurant, we had always wanted a restaurant, but we really wanted to also empower people to take their health into their own hands. So that's why we wanted to do the cooking school. So after so long of having done the school and educated people, we wanted something different. We didn't quite know what that was going to be, but then we were like, do we want to do the craziest thing that everyone tells you not to do ever, like in your life? Okay. If you can't take a risk on yourself, who can you take a risk on? If not now, when? Those questions crossed our mind, and then we went for it. So.
I think spiritually speaking, we weren't at a place where we were ready. We didn't have the tools back then to throw fear in the garbage. And I think that that is the thing that stands in most people's way when they're thinking about this thing that they're drawn to do, this gift that they've been given, this passion, right? It comes from somewhere. So you got to find it, connect with it, and then you have to put fear away, put it to the side. And so it took, there was a spiritual evolution that we both were on simultaneously. It just happened to be. And we were able to just believe in ourselves enough to take this risk.
It's just that Nike symbol. Just
Right,
do it.
right.
Yeah,
Totally.
just do it.
That came from somewhere. That was inspired by something.
And you know what? So you feel like we didn't know everything. We didn't know how to do this exactly.
we still,
Yeah,
every day's a learning curve.
Yeah, every single day I'm learning so much. But I think just starting and making corrections, you don't have to do something 100% the first time.
If you were going to go into a time machine,
Yeah.
what would you say to Jenny and Heather that first day you open? What would you say?
Ooh.
Stereo.
What would I say?
What would I say?
I'd say you got this. You got this.
Yeah, we kind
It's gonna be a
of
wild ride. Buckle up, honey.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
just keep drinking your juices before you meditate every morning.
What do you put in those juices?
I know. A lot of
Celery.
spinach.
Yeah. I'm not that excited.
Is that a euphemism for something else?
No.
So, what are the biggest challenges of having a place like this that constantly I saw a picture of all your employees, like kind of a family pic shot.
Yeah.
What are the biggest challenges?
There are many. I would say everything from finding the right staff that wants to be with you, and we're so lucky to have an amazing staff with us now, but that's taken a lot of cultivation. I would say, everything from ingredient challenges. Sourcing is always really tricky, when you're trying to find high quality product and you're not willing to go just anywhere for your ingredients. You have to be really picky about them, and then that makes sourcing harder.
And
So-
sometimes, the wrong things come into the store and we get complaints. So this doesn't look like what it's supposed to be. And there's so many challenges. We have zero control over many of the challenges that we face here. And I think it'd just be so great for people to have like a lot of grace for a budding business. And we are lucky enough to mostly have really kind and understanding customers, but sometimes that can be a challenge as well.
Yeah, there's different challenges, but nothing is insurmountable. You know what I'm saying? Like everything can be dealt with, whether it's time, money, thought. If you just take it little by little, it's nothing crazy.
I feel like I've gone through an evolution to learn. Not just about restaurants, but also, purveyors that create vegan products.
Yes.
But the issue though is a lot of times you have to do the research. The consumer has to do the research and understand. And for a business like yours, it's just so easy. It's you don't have to think like, is it owned by an evil corporation?
Right.
Are these people in it for the right reasons?
Right.
Are they just here for the profit? Is there greenwashing involved? So that's what's so nice and refreshing about a place like yours is it's like a vegan safe space where we can go and understand that we're here for the right reasons. I feel like a real challenge as a consumer is also price. Now I feel like your prices are very reasonable for like what you get. You get a lot of food. I feel like you offer, but is there a tension when it comes to pricing these items? When it comes to like how low can you go, or how can you be acceptable?
Yeah.
Like I recently got a burrito. It was like $7. It was a Just Egg burrito, and it was this tiny little burrito. And I'm like, do they think that vegans will buy this? Maybe some will, maybe some won't. But it's all. Maybe it's an element of respecting the community, but also too, just the realism of running a business.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Yeah.
if you want to expound on that.
There's a lot that goes into that. You have to take into consideration your cost of goods, and then a lot of places will price themselves and inflate the cost of their main raw ingredients so that they can turn a bigger profit. We actually are using like a very traditional restaurant-based model in doing that, so we're not inflating that because we do want this to be affordable. And we also want our portion sizes to make people full because we know that there's a stigma against eating this way. And if they can leave full and happy or be like, this is so abundant, then they won't feel like, oh, I ate vegan food, I'm hungry 5 minutes later. You don't want anybody to think that it's, skimpy or unsatisfying. So these are our own, taking what we've heard over the years through our cooking school and putting all of that into what we're serving. We want there to be so many colors and textures and flavors because we've heard vegan food is boring or bland. We want there to be high protein because we've heard you can't get your protein. So all these things, in our own experience are coming together, and we are pricing it as fairly as we can while also paying our staff as fairly as we can and trying to, support the community as best we can.
For us, volume is key.
True.
Because we price it so low that we attract, for us, like doing the volume is going to keep us sustained. And that's something that we're very intentional about. Our goal is to have many, many, many locations across the country. Mm-hmm. You have to dream big, right?
That's right.
Whatever's going to happen, I don't know, but that's our intention, and we just work towards that with our pricing for sure. Because we want to be accessible to people who, just every walk of life.
Yeah, but I had an idea for a new special.
Okay.
it's going to be called the Troll Bowl. And it's everything that the trolls complain about in a bowl.
Oh,
so you can do that.
What's
That
in
would
the
be a
What's
great
in the
idea.
troll bowl? What do they complain
Just
about?
a bunch of rocks. I don't know. They don't. I don't know. I mean, it's really okay. So, you have this ambition to have this as a brand, and the thing that really impressed me about your particular restaurant that I feel that it's not like I'm not to denigrate any other vegan spot, but there's a lot of
respect to every other vegan
yeah, oh yeah,
spot, right?
but there's a lot
so
of there's a
much.
mom and pop aesthetic.
Yes, yes.
Now, what you've done is you kind of have both worlds. I mean, obviously, the two moms are here. However, it's a very polished experience. Now, what were your efforts to create this type of experience?
Yeah, when we were thinking about the color and the vibe, we really wanted it to feel like, oh, are there other locations and where are they? And we didn't want it to feel like our first rodeo, even though it is, but don't tell anybody. So we wanted it to be clean. We wanted it to feel very modern. We didn't want to use traditional colors that are associated with plants or veganism. You know, we wanted it to just
Brown and green were not colors that we were going to be using.
Right. So and you know, as women, as moms, we wanted there to be soft lines in here, like the I don't know. It's just like what we felt. We always go with our gut, right? And what we feel and what we want to put forward is kind of emulating how we actually feel on the inside. You know what I'm saying? We wanted this vibe to just be very uplifting and positive, and we wanted to do that with color and all the things that you know, the aesthetics, the food, everything.
The aesthetics are basically who we are on the inside. This is a very like authentic space. So when you walk in, it's like that sun right there. That's how we feel every single day. And I'm sorry if that's annoying to some people. You know, that's a choice that they're making. But you're gonna walk in, you're gonna see smiling, happy faces because that's really truly how we feel.
Speaking of moms,
Yes.
because I know you have families.
Yes.
How can you balance this work, family
Yeah.
situation, and has it been a challenge?
Oh yeah.
That's probably, you know, when we
That's
You have your
that's
children
the
and a
biggest
pen.
challenge.
What?
Yeah, why didn't we
Why
name
did
that
we
one
say
as the
that
biggest challenge?
Yeah, satisfying everyone. Especially in the first year of opening any business, right? Like you are either devoting all of your time to your business, or you know, when you have time to devote to your family, you can do that. But yes, I think that is a big challenge, is satisfying everyone. Our children are little and they have a lot of needs, and we want to be there for them, but we help each other out. We one of us will work and one of us will hang out with the kids sometimes.
Just this week on Sunday, I
Yeah.
took her kids. Monday, she took mine. Tomorrow, we're juggling. We're basically
Yeah.
just like professional clowns.
Yes.
Just
and we can't wait for them
juggling.
to go back to school, because then we get a few more hours to work. But that is a challenge, like as a parent who also has a business. That is a challenge.
I will say Jenny's husband has been like such a rock for this. Without him, we wouldn't have this business. He's been holding it down for both of us. And you need a very supportive partner to be able to embark on something like this. And our parents also really show up for us
Yeah.
to
We're
help
very
out
lucky.
with our children.
So is it truly a family?
It is a family
Run
affair.
business.
It's the
Absolutely.
familiest run business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
ever.
but it doesn't look like it. It looks like this kind of corporate kind of I don't know, sweet greens, but vegan. You know, kind of that's the vibe you get with the logos and the branding and the menu.
Thank you.
Okay, and then I just wanted to finish off because I mean you definitely have a mission-driven business, and I came during the first time I came here. It was a Monday, and you had an event on Mondays. It's called Pollinator Mondays, and you
Yeah.
actually give away a pollinator plant with every meal purchase.
Yeah.
And so, why don't you explain a little bit about your environmental mission and what you do to inspire people to help save the planet?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be really honest about this. We talked a little bit before about spirituality and how important that is to us. We're big meditators, and we really try every single day to quiet our minds and let whatever needs to come in. And the pollinator project came to us in a meditation. You know, it was something that became very clear. We're not just in this to make money. Anyone who's just opening a restaurant to make money, I don't know. That's kind of boring. There's so
unless
much.
you're laundering money.
That could be very exciting. There could be a movie script in there somewhere, you know.
Yeah, for us, you know, personally speaking, our mission is so big. And the reason that we are on this planet is to help heal the earth, help animals, and help heal human beings.
So 1 in 3 bites of food that you take are thanks to a pollinator. Okay, that means a bird, butterfly, bee, moths. Okay, these are really important creatures. So we're trying to help people understand that by giving away these pollinator-friendly plants, like, you are connected to these little insects, and they're so connected to our food supply. Like, we wouldn't have, you know, things like berries, and anything that is pollinated it's in dire straits, and they need our help. And so we're just trying to raise awareness that you can create an environment for pollinators. Even sitting behind you, actually, there's been a little wasp and a bee that's been circling behind you.
I was wondering why I was getting stung in the neck.
But they like these plants. Right. She's back there behind you. But basically, they need places to pollinate, because we've done so much with our modern food system. You're planting the same crop over and over. You're using tons of pesticide. You're using GMO ingredients, right? And so these pollinators need places to pollinate. They need plants. So the more you can have your pollinator-friendly plants in your yard, or you're eating more thoughtfully and trying to eat non-GMO and, you know, be more supportive in that way, like, you can make that connection there. So Pollinator Mondays, it's a program that we wanted to do to raise awareness, you know, and we need sponsors. So we do get corporate sponsors so that we can make this program go, so that it's not going to cost any of our, you know, customers to get the plants. And we're just trying to kind of make that connection from many sides.
Talk about a challenge. Getting corporate sponsorship is a real challenge. It's so much work to be able to keep up with that, and for every, you know, 50 corporations we reach out to, one says yes if we're lucky. So we have to knock on a lot of doors to get this program sponsored.
So if any vegans that are listening want to sponsor the Hey Sunshine Pollinator Monday,
shoot us an email, hey@heysunshinekitchen.com. But the other piece of this is, we really think it's important for people to connect with the earth itself. So when we give you a plant, we're hoping, if you have a balcony, put it on your balcony. If you have a garden, dig a hole, get your hands in the earth, feel the earth, connect with the earth. This is our Mother Earth. She really is giving us life. And so that's part of the program as well, is just connecting people back with the earth where we came from.
Okay, now it's plug time.
Okay.
You gotta plug your books, your websites, your IG. And so go ahead and tell, so I see a book here, it's Vegan 101.
Yes, this is our second cookbook. And this one has a great intro if you are trying to swap out different kind of products in your diet, kind of understanding what is veganism from a very simplistic perspective, and getting some really simple recipes. So Vegan 101 is that.
So it's
a lot of easy swaps too.
So it's a great beginner vegan recipe, like when people are transitioning to a vegan diet.
Exactly. And Spork Fed was our first book. And so when we wrote this was just like our greatest hits of all of our classes, you know, kind of put into a book. One picture for every single recipe in this book. That was a challenge for sure, getting those all taken, but we fed our friends who helped us with the photography very much, and
we were lucky enough to have Emily and Zoe Deschanel write the foreword to our first book, which is great too.
Wow.
Yeah, you know.
And, it's been a while, but oldies but goodies.
And the father was a very famous cinematographer.
Yeah.
And
he didn't write the foreword though.
Oh,
Sorry.
well, maybe he can shoot the film, the film adaptation.
That's cool.
And then also, Hey Sunshine Kitchen, you're in Culver City.
Yes.
Definitely, I highly recommended by Vegan Axe Pod. and you got just good vibes. It's wonderful just to be around you. And also, too, you will see a famous person. One of the sisters will be here. So one of you are always here, right? For the most part, or
I would say in the daytime, you'll mostly see
Yes.
one of us here.
okay. So come during the day if you want to see someone famous.
I'm like, who are they?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, who's coming
Okay,
in?
well, we'd love it anytime.
And
of course.
what's your IG? Is it?
It's Hey Sunshine Kitchen.
And then also Spork. What is it? Spork Fed.
Spork Foods.
Spork
yeah,
Foods.
Spork Foods is us, and that's been around a bit. And our website is just HeySunshineKitchen.com. You can even order online to get some takeout from us there.
We also do catering.
Yes.
So, and catering it's a really beautiful way of sharing with like an office or a party, people who are maybe a little bit unsure. And it's a great way of kind of getting the word out.
I'm sure that people get the food and they eat through it and they don't even realize it's vegan.
That happened
Many
today,
times.
actually.
Yeah.
A gentleman was sitting and he said, that's not carnitas. And we said, how come it's jackfruit? He goes, I thought the entire time that was carnitas, and I loved it. Just
Yeah.
today. Yeah, it was beautiful. And, we're not trying to hide anything. It's all written there on the menu. There you go.
Well, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure.
For having us.
Thank you so much for having us. What you do is so fun and wonderful and exciting, and you're doing such great work. So thank
I
you.
appreciate that.
We appreciate you.
And you guys keep up the good work because it's very inspiring coming here and just chatting.